guys, welcome to ANX Quickcast, a 10-minute recap of the latest gaming updates, anime news, and TV series. On today's episode, we're reviewing Agatha All Along, Season 1, Episode 3, Through Many Miles of Tricks and Trials. I'm Unbiased Anne. I'm here with Genesis.
What up?
How's it going?
I don't know. These episode names get longer and longer and longer. I feel like those anime, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon and all these long ass names? So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, episode 3, let's get right to it.
Okay.
First off, did you like this episode?
Yes.
Okay. Finally one that you liked.
Yes.
I liked it. It was a little too predictable, but it wasn't a bad episode. So in this episode, basically, so now they in the end of the last episode, they open the gate to get to the road. This episode, they start their journey on the road.
Yep.
Right. You start to see some of the things on the road that you should and shouldn't do. You shouldn't deviate from the road, right?
Yep.
And then right when they figure that out, they save Kitty because she was about to get snatched on the side of the road. This big golden house, glowing aura house appears, and then what do? They go off the road. Okay, but anyway.
Which, can we just say real quick, by the way, when you say Kitty, it's because of the 70s show.
That 70s show, that's her name on that 70s show. And apparently on this show, she has many different names.
Yes.
Two main names, but then she also has like a designation in the Covenant, right?
Yep.
So she got too many names on there. It's Kitty, Kitty Foreman. Anyway, so they're in this house and now they're locked. They go to the house and they're locked in this house.
Yep.
And there's a 30-minute timer and clues on what they need to do to get out of the house.
It's like an escape room.
Yeah. So that's what's going on in this episode. Since you liked it, maybe we should start with things that you liked about the episode.
Okay. So one, it was already, like, to me, it already kind of started off cool, right? Because now they're down, like, on the road, like you said.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool to see them finally get there. And then when they just magically see this house and they walk in, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Like, everybody changed clothes immediately. Hair was different. Everything was different.
So I have that down as one of the things that I liked.
Yeah.
A drastic costume change. Even from the hair, like people who didn't have hair do have hair.
Yeah.
Right. From the hair, the makeup, the clothes, but it made sense within the plot and the story. They didn't just magically have new clothes just because they decided they wanted new clothes, right? So it went and it fit, it made sense, and it kind of, I don't want to say it changed their personalities. I think their personalities were changing anyway because it's just that point in the story. People bring their barriers down. People are more familiar with the people that they're around, so they're acting different, sharing more. So it was just like this dope concept of changing the total appearance while these people are also acting different. And they were also acting different for a couple of reasons that had to do with the story. But I'll let you continue.
Yep. So I like that in general. I liked that it was basically like an escape room. If you've ever done one before, they're all over the place.
I have not.
But it's like, it's not like a scavenger hunt, but it's like you have to like find these clues and do these things to lead one, to the next step or whatever. So I was really fascinated. I was like, okay, I love this. We also see in this episode a lot more, I don't know if it's like character building, but it's like more character interaction. We're seeing more, we're getting introduced to more about each character.
Well, in a big way.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and throw one of the things that I liked about it. I mean, you got to see what scares a witch.
Yeah.
Because witches, generally speaking, not necessarily MCU witches, Marvel witches, not necessarily them, but witches in general are meant to be scary. So it was kind of cool to see what fears they have, because that was a part of what happened on this trial. They started to hallucinate, and their hallucinations were some of their greatest fears. Yeah. So that part was kind of cool to see.
And it was cool because there were some kind of creepy elements. So you're kind
dark.
Dark and
not witchy dark, but like dark, like people getting killed and stuff.
Yeah. And just people appearing and just walking off, and it was just like creepy. It was dark and creepy.
Yeah.
So, and then I kind of liked they addressed the because I think this is another time where the kid, they ask him something and he starts the teen whatever. Yeah, they ask him something and he starts trying to answer and it does it again where it's like and they kind of explain that that's I forget how they said it, sigil, which is a spell that's supposed to like hide something.
Yeah.
And so even though I know you don't like that there's all these secrets, it makes it more like, well, what is it?
The only thing I liked about it this time is that everyone else noticed it.
Yeah.
And then explained what it was. So it's progressing and moving along as opposed to just happening over and over and over.
Yep.
So there was more movement to what was happening and what was going on. So I was like, okay.
Yep. So I have something else, but it's kind of like towards the end. So I don't know if you want to share some other stuff.
As far as things that I liked, there's really only one more thing, which is, again, they got to the witching, and it wasn't the traditional witching, but they did a cauldron, how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. They threw a bunch of stuff in the sink.
Yeah.
So like, it was like
jars and all that. Just I'm just gonna throw everything in here.
But you're still using magic. You're still doing witchcraft. So it's like, again, you got a bunch of witches. What, 5?
Yeah.
Total? I don't remember.
I think.
Because I mean, the teen, he's 1 too. So 1, 2,
5, yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
You got 6 witches.
Okay.
It's time to get to the witches. The witching. It's not something I say all the time, so it's hard to get that out.
Yeah.
But it's like they finally got to it. They started to do some incantations, some spells, and making a potion and antidote for what was going on. Because at a certain part during the trial, they all got poisoned, and the poison is what kind of made them hallucinate and they would eventually die. So they had to make an antidote. And again, I kind of said this earlier, but each one of these witches has a specific designation and role on what they're supposed to be doing. So in this one, you got to see one time for you to make a healing spell, time for you to make a potion. Like, that's what you're here for. So do it.
And I'm gonna be interested to see what happens on the next episode with Catherine Hahn's character, with Agatha, because I started to like her more in this episode. She was still
being shady.
She was still being shady. But she was growing on me in this episode.
Okay.
So we'll see.
But not only was she being shady in this episode, but they revealed some rumors about her. Right? And her son, and giving up her son for a evil spell book. I'm assuming that's what it was. And then when they showed her fears, you kind of think, okay, this is true, because you heard a baby crying, and there was a baby like in a stroller or whatever.
Yeah, and she stopped dead in her tracks.
And then she went over there. Obviously, she was hallucinating, but when she went over there to it, rip off the blanket, the book was there.
Yeah.
So it's like, did this really happen? So the episode where she starts to grow on you.
Yeah, I know.
Is the one where she was being shady and didn't drink, the wine with everybody else, and they revealed that she may have done this awful thing to her son.
I know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Dislikes. Or unless did you want to get?
Yeah. Let me say this.
Okay. So
another thing I liked was the ending. Okay, so I liked the whole episode.
Yeah.
But I liked the ending because, they do the spell. They drink whatever they're supposed to drink. By the end, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then they have to jump in the oven. So it's like, it's another thing. Like they always seem to be like jumping into a new place at the end of every episode. So it's like, okay, what's happening now? Where are they going now? Now, what I didn't like, I had one thing I didn't like about this episode.
Okay.
That Kitty Foreman dies in the end.
So that's what I have on one of my dislikes.
But I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't think she's going to be dead.
I'm hoping not. And I don't think so either. But if I take it as it is, I'm like, what the heck?
And these are witches, so it's like, even if she is dead, yeah, none of y'all can find a way to make her come back.
Right. Somebody do a spell.
Yeah, so I have that on the
Get
things.
a Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you got to get 7 though.
I know.
Can't just get 1.
Well, yeah.
So as they, so you said it was like the house they were in. It was like a what'd you call it?
Escape room.
Escape room. Is the escape room puzzles
Yes.
or is it clues?
Well, it's kind of a mixture.
Because this seemed like real puzzle based,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it because this house seemed kind of clean. Like, what do they call it? Minimalist.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that they had all the ingredients needed to fix it. And like in the bathroom, there was stuff. And at the end of the day, they just grabbed everything that was in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, okay, again, too convenient.
Yes, very convenient.
So I really didn't like that part of it and how they actually, solved the problem. I said Kitty dying at the end. I didn't like that, but her being reckless.
Kitty.
Yeah, I'm not liking her character that much. Now, I think there's something to it, meaning like she clearly does not seem to know what's going on.
Right.
Or she could be playing dumb and she's the only one who knows everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I still have this gut feeling that she could end up either knowing everything and or being the strongest one there, something along those lines. But the fact that she just doesn't seem like she doesn't know anything that's going on is frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that there were times in this episode where she was getting on my nerves because it's like, I felt like she just keeps complaining.
Yeah.
And it's like, shut up.
Yeah. I mean, she stands out to me on a normal basis on this show. From the other, and I get it, people have different personalities, but she's even overshadowing like the teen to me.
Yeah.
He was the loud, flamboyant one in the first episode and a half, right? And then she comes along and she's even louder and crazier from the standpoint, again, like she doesn't know what's going on. Right? So that part is frustrating to me, where it's just like, it's not bad acting. It's not necessarily bad writing. I just don't like the character.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with her outside of That 70 Show. That 70 Show was one of my favorite TV shows for a long time. She's acting like Kitty who got a hold of too many brownies.
Yeah. So
it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And for her seemingly, I know these witches have weird ages. They kind of talked about that too.
Oh yeah.
So like I don't know how old she is, but it's like, is she the oldest one there?
Yeah, you can't tell.
But you don't know. But I'm just saying, just generally speaking, is she older than?
She looks older than well, I don't know. Patty LuPone, who plays the psychic.
Yeah.
She might be the same age. I don't know.
Either way it goes, you should know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Unless it turns out that she's not really a witch. And like that'd be the big twist at the end. Like, right. You really took this woman out on this trip that's not a witch.
Yep.
And she really don't know what's going on. That could be the big twist at the end.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, I hope they don't F it up though.
Me too.
Because you got one of the main reasons I wanted to watch the show, which is Kitty, and now she's dead. Don't make it goofy the way she comes back.
Right.
Like, make it make sense, tie it in seamlessly with the story, and then
keep it moving.
And keep it moving.
All right. Anything else?
Don't think so.
All right. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Quickcast. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. See you next time.
Tricks and Trials.